Welcome back to HB Unfiltered Sports Talk. I'm joined by the Stiff Brownie, the intern, and I'm the Dirtbag. And remember to visit our site at hbunfilteredsportstalk.com and check out our merchandise and support us. I'm going to go back to the intern, and we're going to talk. We're about to talk about the NBA, but she's got a nice little fun fact for us to lead us into this segment.
So I do, and Miami is hot. So both the Florida Panthers and the Miami Heat were the 8th seed in the NHL and NBA respectively, and now are both in the finals. And both teams beat Boston, the Panthers being the Bruins, and the Heat took down the Celtics.
Okay, that's an awesome little fun fact nugget. I hate Boston. So to know that both went down to 8 seed Miami squads is pretty awesome.
Great.
Miami, Jimmy Buckets. What can you say about this guy? This guy is just a gamer. Spoelstra, Pat Riley running the whole show.
Yep.
Doesn't matter about the injuries. They even lost, a third guard in basically 2 of the games with Gabe Benson and still won. I think they're getting Hero back.
Yeah, they're talking about him making a return, so they don't know when. Maybe not tonight.
Right. Tonight's for game 1 in Denver.
-9, Nuggets -9. The money line's -360. So what's your gut tell you about tonight's game? Because I have a different take on this, I think.
Okay, here's what Miami's playing well on the road. They've only been off 2 days or 3 days. It seems like Denver's been off 3 weeks since the Lakers couldn't win a game.
Sure.
So this team's basically been on vacation, and I don't care how much you play your teammates in practice or try to have. It's not real.
There's going to be a little bit of rust.
Yeah, I think they're going to be rusty. I think that's a lot of points.
So the over under at 218.5. You're thinking maybe perhaps under.
I'm thinking definitely Heat in the under for game 1.
Okay.
Because I think there'll be a little bad shooting. Just because it's also game 1, the finals. Just how the game 7 started out. Did you see how poorly Boston and Miami were playing? It was Brick City.
Yeah, but Boston was on borrowed time. Let's just face it. They were a card house. It was only a matter of time before they showed their true colors, and we've talked about this so much on our podcast here. The amount of rigging that takes place by the NBA refs, which, by the way, news came out today, Lewis is not going to be allowed to ref any of the finals games because of he's in the middle of an investigation.
Yes.
For shaving points, calling games incorrectly, calling fouls incorrectly. So, needless to say, just another nail in the coffin of what we call NBA rigging freaking games.
Yeah, I mean, people, all you got to do is watch these games, look for traveling. I mean, I see guys just doing this with the ball as they dribble. Marcus Smart travels every single time. That ball's not supposed to go above your hand.
There was a situation in Game 7. It was at the very end of the game. I want to say there was about 4 minutes left. He'd inbound the ball. They passed it to a guy at the top of the key. Guy never moves.
Right.
Never moves his feet, never takes a dribble, literally grabs the ball, turns to his right to make the next pass. They call travel. The Celtics are down 20, so I'm not sure why a ref would even call that, but it's a glaring BS rigged call.
Yeah.
Okay? What my gut tells me is that the NBA is going to try to force us into taking the money line of the favorites, laying serious wood on the money line, and then taking the points for the underdog. And the reason I say that is because it seems to me like they want every game to be literally one shot here, one shot there. Now, when you're paying 3.5 or 4 to 1 on the money line for the favorite, that's some serious skin. And it worries me because all you need is one game to go the wrong direction, and it could literally blow up all your profits for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I seriously don't know why it's 9. The only reason I can think that they made the spread so high is it's a number 1 hosting an 8 seed. You know,
Well, here's my take on
but you
tonight's
shouldn't
game.
look
though.
at it that way.
Here's this is my personal take on tonight's game. Different than yours. I look at it from the standpoint, yeah, the Nuggets could have some rust, so I do like the under in the game. That being said, they just played 3 more games than the Heat, I should say, played 3 more games than, or actually, I'm sorry, yeah, 3 more games than the Denver Nuggets. They celebrated. They take a private charter, okay, from the arena. They've got to get used to the altitude.
Right.
They were probably hungover the day after they won because they're in the championship. I think they come out and I see Spoelstra probably pulling the starters with about 7 minutes left in the game because they're down 15, and he's like, "Fuck it." And I think tonight's game specifically, the Nuggets are going to cover the spread.
Okay.
That's
all right.
that's my gut feeling.
But you like the under. See, that's a tough one for me to take because they got to cover 10. Double digits always leads me to take the over then, and because it just seems weird to take a team. I mean, that means Miami's just going to come out and like just shoot horrible.
I could see 105-92 easy all day long.
Okay, all right.
That's what my personal opinion is. Now, if it turns out where Miami somehow acclimates and is totally ready to go and everybody's healthy, I mean, Jimmy Buckets twisted his ankle a little bit at the end of the game at Game 7. He's obviously okay because he kept playing.
Yeah.
But those are ailments that in altitude could be something that's now like a little bit more serious than at normal altitude.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with. You can go either way. You can go with Stiffy B, or you can go with me on this one. Let there be light. By the way,
are we gonna make another bet for $1?
Let there be light.
Because I'm up 1-0.
Yeah, sure. I can put
All right.
$1 on that.
All right.
Trading places.
Yep.
$1 Valentine.
So that's what I see. And again, don't be scared to tease these games. Get yourself a couple extra points. Tease it to the over. Tease it to the under. What have you? Because
it just goes down my road of less money. But okay.
Yeah, I just, it's really hard to bet on something that's rigged.
Yeah.
And I would not feel okay telling our listeners to bet on something that we have seen repeatedly rigged.
But what you got to do is you got to figure out when it's rigged and which way to go.
That's why I think tonight Denver's going to crush.
Okay. All right. Let's see if that pans out. Because if Miami were to win, I'll go hard on Denver game 2.
Sure.
To tie it up.
The other caveat to that is they need people to watch, right? They need an audience, and these are the two. This is why they were trying to rig the Lakers and the Celtics into the finals, is because they really, that's huge market, huge fan base. Everybody's going to watch that rivalry, right?
This is why they need a close game.
Yeah. Well, this is why they need the Heat to win.
Right.
If the Heat win game 1, now all of a sudden people are like, oh shit, the Heat won?
Yes.
I got to see game 2 now.
I still think it's going to be pretty poor ratings. It's just not what the people, for the most part, wanted to see. I think a Lakers Celtics would have broken records.
Well, I can tell you this, Game 7, and please fact check me on this because I might be wrong here, but I heard it was the highest rated NBA game in 5 years.
Really?
Game 7
of Celtics and
Celtics
Heat?
and Heat, yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Snap.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're on the under.
Yeah.
And then we got $1 on it between you and me.
Yeah, a whole $1 because that's about all I can afford after these losses past week. Hey, real quick, we gotta talk about some of this coaching carousel. Guys that have won, literally, you win a championship
in the NBA,
in the NBA, and you get bounced. So the Celtics have decided to keep Mazzulla, even though he lost Game 7 for the first time in Celtics history, probably.
I actually like him as a coach. He seems like he's a pretty class act.
Yeah. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low.
Sure.
Now, Nick Nurse, who coached the Raptors of all teams to an improbable title a couple of years ago, he gets a gig with the 76ers, takes that gig over. But this is the one I want to talk about. Monty Williams.
He's a good coach.
He shouldn't have lost his job to the Suns, but they fired him.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting rewarded. Even though it's Detroit, he's got to move to Detroit, which is like purgatory.
Which is brutal.
But he got a 5-year, $78.5 million. You know how far that kind of money goes in Detroit?
Well, I can tell you, I would move to Detroit for $78.5 million.
Hey,
I just deal with it.
Sign me up.
You know what Monty Williams is really well known for? I mean, he's a good coach, don't get me wrong, but he's really good at building talent.
Yeah.
And nursing these young stars into something that could be worthwhile. So I think it's a good fit for him. I mean, obviously, I don't know how they're going to win in Detroit because they're just so bad. But
yeah, they got a long way to go before they become good again.
But if you look at Spoelstra, and you look at Spoelstra, and who's the Nuggets coach?
The Mark Malone.
Okay, Mark Malone. Spoelstra's been a coach, or at least in the Heat organization, for 15 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay? They had some down times. I mean, yeah, he coached LeBron, and now obviously learned how to handle superstars with LeBron and Wade and Bosh. But all those role players had to be he had to help them grow.
Right.
Okay? Malone, same situation. They gave Malone the amount of time that he needed to create a winning product in Denver.
Yeah, and when Murray got hurt last year, they didn't overreact and just fire him.
Correct. And that's the whole thing. I mean, if these NBA franchises would stop doing what have you done for me lately and start doing, hey, we're going to trust this process with these coaches because we believe in them.
Right.
One, that sends a message to the athlete, like, shut your pie hole and do your job.
Yeah.
Shut up and dribble.
Correct.
And two, within the organization itself understands what they're trying to do. You're not switching things up. It's almost like when like when you're in football and they trade the head coach and then the head coach just cleans everybody out. Well, that quarterback coach might have been really good for that quarterback. Yeah. And just because he's not your guy doesn't mean he's not doing his job correctly,
Yeah. Hey, just like Gruden. Gruden's over helping the Saints' car right now.
Is he really?
He is. They invited him down to help coach him up.
God, I like Gruden. He got such a shitty deal.
Yeah, he got a raw deal. Hey, but we got to get it in here. We got to talk about the NHL playoffs, man. That's another one. Doesn't start till Saturday, but you're talking about the Florida Panthers, who are hot once again, the 8th seed.
Do you know that it's even money on the series?
I like Florida. They got a hot goalie, and
Florida's plus 102 in the series, and the Vegas Knights are minus 110.
Yeah,
that's as even Steven as it comes.
Yeah, it's a coin flip. We got to throw a shout out to our boy Jonathan Quick, who was traded from the Kings to Columbus, and then he was dropped and then sent over to Vegas. So I know he's not playing very much right now, but hopefully he can get a ring.
Would this be his third ring?
Yeah.
Wow.
Two at the Kings.
Good for him. The only reason the Kings won those Stanley Cups is because he got hot.
Correct.
So,
but that's why I think Florida wins it though, is because they got the hot goalie.
Yeah, and we've been saying that all along.
Yes,
we've been saying that all along.
You need a hot goalie to win the Stanley Cup, and if you got a team that's in sync, like the Panthers are with Kachuk, I mean that guy's got like already 3 or 4 game-winning goals. That guy's on fire.
You know what? When we tie up this segment, I'm going to put some money on Florida.
Yeah,
right now.
I like Florida, and I like Denver in the NBA. What else you got?
Speaking of coaching carousel, what's going on in the NFL? I keep hearing some rumors that Jimmy Garoppolo's ankle's all blown up and his contract's changing. And
yeah, that was a weird. He signed a waiver. I'm not sure exactly how that works. I'm guessing if he's not ready to go, that it could cost him a part of his money.
Wasn't it an addendum to his contract?
It has to be.
Yeah. So
take a physical.
As I understand it, if he's not able to play, it voids out the entire contract with Vegas.
Well, that's no good.
Yeah.
Well, wow.
They're saying that the shoulder issue isn't the problem. The ankle issue is a way bigger issue than the shoulder.
Well, it all depends if there were ligaments torn in that ankle. I don't know. I didn't even know he needed surgery.
Porn star Jimmy G, what the heck's going on with you, man?
Yeah, he likes the ladies. Oh man, NFL. Yeah, I don't know. It's we're getting to those dog days before OTAs and everything. I think Rodgers already got hurt himself.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, he was at Taylor Swift when he got hurt. He's a T Swift guy.
Oh no, is he really?
Yeah, big, huge fan. He even said which album he likes the best in an interview, and knew all the names of the albums.
Do I even want to know?
No, I don't. I couldn't even tell you what it is because I don't even know who she is.
Yeah, I don't know either. All right, you got anything else, or is this gonna wrap it up for this session?
Why don't we do a little change up action?
Dude, we missed the Memorial Tournament to get our picks in. I just want to throw it out there. If these are what I took for the Memorial, we couldn't make it in the other day, but I got Victor Hovland, English, and Suh.
Okay.
Suh is hot, man.
Yeah, he is. He's on fire.
You know, he went to school.
I know.
USC. You should always know when I throw you that volleyball question. I'm giving you a layup, man.
Yeah. Spoiled children.
USC. Did you see Caleb Williams was at the Grand Prix in Monaco?
Was he really?
It's good to be. It's good to be Caleb Williams.
Wow, that's very nice.
Oh man,
So-
NIL money.
Are we allowed to go into this whole pride thing real quick?
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay. What
It's your team, the Chargers.
Let's change this up real quick. I don't get why all these organizations are now catering to, 20,000 of their fans when they have 2 million, 5 million fans following them religiously. Chargers are doing it. I just saw the Arizona Wildcats logo. Thanks, Quinn. Shout out for sending me that. Do they not know what happened with Bud Light, Target, all these different makers, Ford,
And
doing a Raptor
not paying attention. You're gonna take a hit in your financial book. That's for sure. The Dodgers are about to do something like that.
Well, I can tell you that I'm going to ask my boy Rodney and Chris if they're going to try to get rid of their season tickets because they're doing that.
I could see that.
Hey, get out of it for free. Hey, you guys made the mistake.
Hey, get out now before those tickets are worthless.
Have a great weekend.
All right, later.